The Lord said to Joshua, "Today I have rolled away from you the disgrace of Egypt." And so that place is called Gilgal to this day. While the Israelites were camped at Gilgal, they kept the Passover in the evening on the 14th day of the month in the plains of Jericho. On the day after the Passover, on that very day, they ate the produce of the land, unleavened cakes and parched grain. The manna ceased on the day they ate the produce of the land, and the Israelites no longer had manna. They ate the crops of the land of Canaan that year. Gilgal. Gilgal. The safe arrival of Israel meant that everything associated with being slaves to Pharaoh 400 years, think about that, just how long that would be. I have rolled away the disgrace of Egypt. And so that the first town that they occupy, the first town that they go into and get, was called Gilgal ever since. Gilgal, I have rolled away. It's a pun on the words. Gilgal. Galati is the word. And so roll away means Galati. This is a place where God, I have rolled away the disgrace. So how long would it take to forget or to remove that stain, that remembrance of being slaves? It says they celebrated the Passover on the night again, as a remembrance of that first Passover. To this day, the Passover is celebrated as a remembrance of what God has done in liberating them from Egypt and the slaves to Pharaoh and the toil and the hardship and the loss. But also, it's a place to look forward to the future as well. God, the first question asked, and it's supposed to be asked by a young child, why is this night different than any other nights? Well, because this is the night that the Lord sent the angel and saw the mark of the blood of the Lamb on the doorpost. And it passed over us. It passed over us. We were spared. There had been no intervening celebrations of Passover until today. The first one, and then they had this one. So 40 years of wandering and being led by God by the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. 40 years, maybe they forgot, right? Maybe they forgot. But life returned now to a normal way. Not only were they wandering again, going from place to place, moving here, now they are in the land. They're in the land that God promised. And now they're camped there. And they ate the produce of the land. They ate the produce of the land. Ever since Exodus 16, when they complained about not having food, manna had sustained them. But this could be a cause of celebration in and of itself. Finally, we got something else to eat. So how long does a good tuna casserole last? How many days before, right? How many leftovers, right? Okay, so imagine the man, the first dish is great. Oh, it's tuna casserole. Oh, it's terrific. Or whatever else you want to have. But day after day after day, The other thing about manna was they had to trust in God for God to provide it. Remember this? Remember what happened if you tried to hoard it and save more than one day's worth, except on the Sabbath? It turned foul. It rotted out. There were red worms. It's like, ugh. Didn't do you any good to hoard it. No, you had to trust that God would provide, and of course, God did. They, when they got to the land, they kept a jar of it that didn't spoil, and they kept it to remind themselves of what led them through. It reminded that that God kept them alive. Now, it wasn't without griping. In the book of Numbers, which is the wandering in the wilderness, they said this: "We remember the fish we used to eat in Egypt for nothing." In Minnesota, we have to buy a fishing license. They ate it for nothing. I'm jealous. Yeah, whatever, right? The cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the garlic. The good thing about that is everyone ate the same stuff, so you could, it didn't matter. They also remember, we had to eat whatever we wanted. It was all good. It was spicy with melon and garlic. But what about the fact that we had to slave and toil to build Pharaoh's buildings and stuff like that? What about the bricks without straw and all that? What? Did you forget about that? They did. Went down out the memory hole, But God's promises came true. And so they took the stones, the 12 stones from the 12, representing the 12 tribes, and they brought them from Egypt to this land. And they made a tower, right? They piled them up. The manna was only supposed to be a temporary measure, and now it stopped because now they're eating the produce of the land, the produce, what they planted already. It doesn't say how long they stayed there, but evidently long enough to gather the food that they had grown, and the produce that they would get. From now on, though, the danger is, and this is why they kept the jar of manna handy. Now that we can grow our own crops, and we can see them out there, we know we're going to have plenty, because it's growing right there. We can build granaries. We don't have to worry about God providing. We can provide. So maybe the older people in there said, you know what, we got to keep a jar of that. Keep us honest. Just like the Passover is a remembrance of why we needed to get out of Egypt, because we were slaves. Some people didn't want to remember that. Why do we have to do this old ritual? Every couple of years, we have a family reunion. We go to Whitefish, Montana. And 1 year, several of the sisters-in-law. There's 6 of us brothers and two sisters in our family. And 1 year, three of the sister-in-laws, moms died. Miriam's mom died, Susan's mom died, and they're all wives of our brothers. And we thought, well, let's do a remembrance service for them, one night. Just kind of, and other people that have lost friends, because we meet every 2 years, and it was a nice service. It was good. Miriam was glad to talk about her mom, and Susan married my little brother. It was great for her, and Gabrielle was married to my oldest brother. And they all thought it was really neat, really good. But then one of my sisters goes, "Oh, that's too depressing to think about." And but then one of them said, "Well, just wait until your mom dies. It's going to be different." And I think they're going to find that out. Our mom's funeral is a week from Friday, April 12th. So anyway, they're right. It's good to remember. And when the shoe's on the other foot, they'll appreciate it. So it just came to mind just this week. Do we remember the things that God has done for us? Do we remember the things our parents have done for us? It's good to have these memories. Bring that jar of manna so that we know God provided the bread. Even though now we live in a land we can harvest it, we got it all. In Deuteronomy, Moses says the same thing. Don't forget where you came from, folks. When you're in the land and you're eating your fill, remember how you got here. Remember all the long way that God has provided for you. Would they forget about the manna if they didn't have the jar along? Would they forget the fact that they were in Israel if they wouldn't have or in Egypt if they wouldn't have brought them stones, to make the pile, Maybe. What about us? Do we take our daily bread for granted? Do we forget how it came to us? We say the prayer. We're going to say it today. Give us this day our daily bread. It comes from the manna time. And I'm glad we say it every Sunday and whenever we worship to remind us that our daily supply of food is not to be taken for granted or minimalized as if it's just always going to be there. Because it's not that way. It takes care and help, and God's working in us. Gilgal, a remembrance, a looking back, but also looking forward. Thanks be to God. Amen. Okay, let us sing.